Welcome to this week's episode of Magic Bringers Rising with me, Lindsay Baldessano, your host. This is for the week of November 6th to the 12th, and we are digging deep into the intuitive message that anger might be bringing this week as we go into our eclipse integration new moon phase at the end of this week. So stay tuned. Welcome to Magic Bringers Rising Chats, a show by Super Secret Powers. I'm your host, Lindsay Baldessano, and let's get ready for a dose of energy healing, channeled guidance, and humor to keep your intuitive flow open and your roots grounded so you can lead the life of healing, spiritual purpose, and magic that you want. So welcome again to Magic Bringers Rising, and we are approaching a transformational new moon again. Transformation again. As it's going to be themed around new beginnings and new chapters and really balancing things at home and in your very practical life. But it's already been that message. So this is so totally congruent with where things have been with the past eclipse season, last week's eclipse integration week, this week's eclipse integration week. It's all rolling, like this rolling ball of change and transformation that, we can really now, I think, begin to embrace, because a lot of the chaos, the big chaos, at least in my life, is starting to clear up. And we can expect to feel that way on, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday of this week. Because we have some lighter energies. We have Venus trine Pluto, we have Mercury trine Neptune. So it's really like a week of like self-forgiveness, ease of life, even reconciliation with some distant memories or some past traumas. And it's a week where we might feel more creative, or a week, it's a couple days, where we might feel more creative or more spiritual and really start to wrap our brains around the transformation that's kind of begging to come out. But now the rest of the week, we kind of have to watch out for some stuff. Because it's going to be intense. A lot of Mercury, a little bit of Mars, more Pluto stuff. And of course, then on Monday, we have the new moon in Scorpio, which also loves its secrets and revealing secrets and bringing things to light. So, the biggest thing is watch out for the rabbit holes this week. Where is your mind going? And try and really become conscious of it. It's going to be an excellent week where if you can journal, and then as you journal, or with your journaling, also practice some deep whole body breathing so you can just release some of that intensity. And, the intensity serves a purpose. I mean, I titled this Mastering Anger and Decoding Its Intuitive Message, because that's the practice we'll be doing this week. But the deeper theme, of course, is then the shadow healing, which I really think is going to be around who you're allowing yourself to be, who you're even just giving yourself a chance to become. And I think it's going to be a really big question with all the kind of Marsy anger, resentment stuff that could come up, that's going to be floating through the collective this week. Because who you are allowing yourself to be, that's the shadow healing. So that's the flipping of the script, right? In the moment, you might feel frustrated. You might feel like things are delayed. You might feel anger, resentment, bitterness, all that kind of stuff. But your initial reaction isn't what you need to judge everything by. Your initial reaction is just the way the universe is showing you and the way your soul is showing you that there's a deeper thing here going on, right? So when we flip the script on that, It's more about what you're allowing yourself to do. Because a lot of times we'll lash out at others or we'll become resentful of others when we aren't respecting our own boundaries, when we aren't respecting our own ability to respect ourselves and our life and our choices and our own sovereignty. Especially because I'm talking to empaths or intuitives who also happen to be sensitive or intuitive empaths. Yeah, I am talking to you. That's my audience. That's who I'm talking to. So, I'm talking from this standpoint of we really need to bring in so much more self-forgiveness, self-acceptance, and self-respect back into our daily lives and how we choose, how we spend our time, energy, where we choose to invest, where we choose to, or how we choose to nourish ourselves. I mean, these are big themes, and they're certainly going to play into how we experience this whole new beginning, new moon in Scorpio at the beginning of next week. So that's where we're going and why this is coming up. And it'll be some beautiful energy if we can just move past those initial reactions. Like, how can he say that? Why did he do that? Why did she, why doesn't she like me? Why doesn't she see that I'm struggling too? All of these things are really actually about giving ourselves permission to express our needs, express what we're going through, express our own opinion, and to be in this space where we're not just accepting that of ourselves, but we're also willing to look at how to move past it. Because no matter what the rabbit hole negative thinking stuff that might be floating through this week in the collective, no matter what that says, it's not really the truth. It's an exaggeration of a true feeling. And that's the intuitive message. And it's not the truth, it's the sign. It's like, here's your sign, here's your stop sign. That an intuitive message is trying to come through about where your boundaries are, where your self-respect is, where your self-worth is, your worth. Where all those things are this week. It's a beautiful week to really see into that and see what more you can allow yourself to become. Because getting to that version of yourself that you actually want to be, that requires stuff to happen. That requires support. That requires nourishment. That requires boundaries. That requires healing. That requires you learning and leaning into how to take care of yourself so much better. Because the longer you stay in that pattern of always getting by, of just surviving, of just going day to day, of just meeting somebody else's next need, the more you are allowing yourself to deteriorate, to lose energy, to stay stuck in that space. When we can be a little bit, at least, and I'm not really speaking of privilege or entitlement here, because it has been a rough week. My husband was in the ER 3 times this week. I stayed up and and I'm exhausted. I am. But I'm doing something about it as well. And I have my mind and my heart set in such a positive and connected spiritually way that, I see that was just a momentary thing. I don't need to judge it. I don't need to judge that I'm feeling a little tired and a little janky today. Of course I am. I had a hard week. And now I'm in recovery mode. And that's fine. And that's where I need to be. And I actually look forward then to that, having that space that I created in my mind heart, where I can allow myself to nourish myself just that little bit deeper, to make sure I'm sleeping and dreaming and getting my supplements and my vitamins and that little bit of a stretch every now and again to keep my body feeling okay, to keep me in that little bit more than survival mode, or maybe a lot more, whatever. Again, I'm not trying to judge it today, just saying, like, all right, I can now move again. I can now move my energy again. I'm not just completely tanked and drained, right? Because we don't want to stay in that space. We can't. We can't. Something's going to happen, and that one thing is going to break the camel's back, so to speak, and then we're in crisis mode again, and we don't have enough to deal with that. So that's the pattern we want to heal. And we have to be in this beautiful space where you can, really see what it is that you need. Where can you set a different boundary? And I'm not talking about ultimatums. And if you need inspiration or learning around boundaries, certainly check out the rest of my work. Sign up to my free stuff even, because we really talk about boundaries in a different way, about a very meeting your authentic needs instead of just laying down ultimatums that feel very confrontational. And quite honestly, they're probably also like an allergy to empaths. You don't know how to be that person, and so you completely overdo it, and it's hard to maintain, and that line slips the first time it's or the first or second time it's pushed against. It doesn't have to be that pattern either. There are other ways to be, other ways to be nourished, other ways to find the support that you need. So, check out the rest of my work. And certainly stay tuned for offerings, because I will be doing a amazing Black Friday bundle all about igniting in 2024. So stay tuned for information on that. And I am not going to do light language. I am not going to do light language time. So in the comments, let me know if you miss it, if that's something you feel like you really needed, if you look forward to it, or if you just prefer the shorter video, because we're just kind of testing and playing with options here at Super Secret Powers to make sure that we're meeting your needs, and that, there's something beautiful for you in this as well, even if we don't do light language. So we'll see. And I hope you have a beautiful week. And I will see you again on Wednesday for our podcast web series with my friend Andrea, Living with Intuition. And also, please follow, share Super Secret Powers and our Magic Bringers Rising channels and groups. Share it to somebody who needs this message today. Share it to another light worker, beautiful, intuitive, witchy, wild woman. Because it will help us so much, and it's free to you, and it's a simple thing. So please remember to follow, and share. All right. See you Wednesday. Have a great week.